Hey, boys and girls. In math, we're on chapter 13, and we've been working with data, and we've also been working with how to show data in different ways. Today, we're on lesson 13.5, and we're going to use data to make a bar graph. If you want to follow along in your math books, you can turn to page 637, and we're going to start with our Explore and Grow activity. So we're going to use the instruments to complete the tally chart. So we're going to look at the instruments. They are drum, trumpet, and tuba. So we're just going to drag the pictures beside the right word. So these are the drums. Okay, then we're going to do our trumpets. And then we'll do our tubas. Just going to drag them all to the bottom first. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drums, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trumpets, and we have 4 tubas. Okay, now we're going to make tallies with our picture. All right, this is going to be number 5, so it's going to make a slash, and then we have 6, 7. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then number 5 with a slash for 5 trumpets, and then 4 tubas. Now we're going to use the tally chart to complete this bar graph at the bottom. So we're going to use the numbers in the tally chart to fill in our bar graph. So we have 7 drums. Well, that's not working, so let me try to show you this way. Okay. All right, so we have 7 drums, and our bar graph is colored in until we see the number 7 at the bottom. We have 5 trumpets and 4 tubas. So our bar graph matches our tally chart. And one of the questions is, how are the tally charts and the bar graph the same, and how are they different? Well, they both give us the same information. They both are band instruments, which are drum, trumpet, and tuba, and they both have the same numbers. They're different because one is a tally chart and one is a bar graph. Okay, now we're going to do our Think and Grow activity, which is on page 638 in your math books, and we're going to start at the top of that page if you want to follow along. This is charts of trees in a park. So we have a tally chart here, and we have a bar graph over here. And the trees are pine, birch, oak, and maple. So we're going to use the tally chart to fill in the bar graph. There are 5 tallies for a pine tree, so we're going to make a bar of 5 over here beside pine. There are 2 tallies for birch. We're going to draw 2 for birch. There are 4 tallies for oak. Draw a bar of 4 for oak. There are 8 tallies for maple. So we're going to draw a bar to the number 8 for maple. Which tree type is the most common? The bar for maple is the longest, so the most common tree type is maple. How many more pine trees are there than oak trees? There are 5 pine trees and 4 oak trees. 5 is 1 more than 4, so there's 1 more pine tree than oak tree. All right, now we're going to choose the bar graph that matches the tally chart. So this is your favorite book type: history, fiction, science, and poetry. All right, history has 3 tallies beside it, fiction has 7, science has 5, and poetry has 6. So we need to find the bar graph that matches these numbers. So we're looking for history with 3, fiction should have 7, and if we look at this bar graph, fiction only has 2, so I know that this one doesn't match. So I'll look at the next one. History should have 3, and fiction should have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that matches. Let's check the rest. Science should have 5, and this one has 5 for science, and poetry should have 6. And this one has 6. So this is the correct bar graph that matches this tally chart. Which book type is the least favorite? Remember, least is the small number. It's the smallest one. So we're going to look at our bar graph to tell which one has the least amount, which one has the smallest amount. History has the shortest bar, which stops at the number 3. So history is the least favorite. How many more students chose fiction than history? Well, if we look at fiction, there were 7 students that chose fiction, and there were 3 students that chose history. And I know that 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4 more than 3. So 4 is the correct answer. Okay, now we're on page 639, and we're going to start with number 2. We're going to choose the bar graph that matches the tally chart. And this is trail mix pieces: peanuts, raisins, almonds, and dried fruit. So we're going to look at each snack and decide which bar graph matches the tally chart. So peanuts has 9, because I see 5 here, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to look for the one that has 9. So we'll look at this one, peanuts, and the bar goes all the way to the number 9. So that one would be correct. If we look at the bottom one, this one only has 4. So I know that this is not going to be the right chart. But I'm going to go ahead and check the rest of them just to make sure. Raisins has 6. So raisins, the bar should be out to the number 6. Almonds has 7, and almonds, the bar goes to number 7, and dried fruit should have 4. So this bar graph matches this tally chart. Okay, how many raisins are there? We look beside raisins, and you look at your bar graph, it goes to the number 6. 6 squares are colored in, so that means raisins has 6. How many more almonds are there than dried fruit? So we're going to look at 2 of them, almonds and dried fruit. Almonds has 7 because it stops at the number 7, and dried fruit has 4. So I know that 7 is 1, 2, 3 more than 4, so our answer is 3. Okay, we're going to choose the bar graph again that matches the tally chart. Drinks at a picnic: water, fruit punch, lemonade, and iced tea. Water has 5, fruit punch has 2, lemonade has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and iced tea has 8. So we need to find the bar graph that matches this. So we should look at water and see if we can find the bar that has 5, and this bar goes to the number 5. This bar also goes to the number 5, so we need to keep checking. Fruit punch has 2. This bar goes to the number 2. So does this bar. Lemonade has 9, so we need to find lemonade where the bar goes all the way to the number 9. So this one goes all the way to the number 9. This one only goes to the number 4. So this chart cannot match this. This bar graph cannot match this tally chart. So we're going to keep checking just in case. The iced tea has 8, and then this one, the bar goes to the number 8. So this is the correct bar graph. Which drink was chosen the most? That means which one had the most votes and which one has the longest bar. So if we look at this one, our bar graph here, Lemonade has the longest bar, so lemonade had the most votes. How many more people chose iced tea than water? So we're going to look at iced tea and we're going to look at water. Iced tea, there were 8 that chose iced tea, and there were 5 that chose water. I know that 8 is 1, 2, 3 more than 5, so our answer is 3. Okay, now we're going to be on page 640 in your math books, and this is our Think and Grow Modeling Real Life. You classify 30 animals as fish, mammals, or reptiles. 11 are fish, 7 are reptiles, the rest are mammals. Complete the bar graph. So we only know fish and reptiles. We know there are 11 fish and there are 7 reptiles. So we're going to use what we know and fill in the bar graph. So there are 11 fish and 7 reptiles. But we need to know how many mammals there are. There were 30 animals all together. So let's see how we're going to do that. All right, so remember that 11 are fish and 7 are reptiles and the rest are mammals. Okay, so here's our bar graph for fish, and we're going to draw a bar graph to, or draw a bar to the number 11. We're going to draw a bar for reptiles to the number 7. There's 11 and 7. 11 plus 7, 18. 30 animals minus 18 is going to give us our answer for mammals. 30 minus 18 equals 12. Our 12 mammals. Make a bar for mammals to the number 12. Okay, you asked 29 students if they want to collect seashells, fossils, or stickers. 8 said fossils, 12 said stickers, the rest said seashells. Choose the completed bar graph. Okay, so these bar graphs have all of the information filled in, but we have to figure out which one is the right one, which one is correct. So we're going to use our information from our word problem up here to figure out which one of these is correct. So there's going to be 29 students total. 8 of them said fossils and 12 of them said stickers. So if we look at our fossils, we should see the number 8. And then if we look at stickers, we should see the number 12, which is the same thing in this bar graph down here. But our question is, how many chose seashells? Because we don't know the answer to that. We know that there were 29 total, so we're going to add 8 and 12. So 8 fossils plus 12 stickers, and that equals 20. So 20 plus what will give us 29, because we need 29 total. So 20 plus what equals 29? The answer is 9. So the seashells should be 9. So we need to find the chart that shows 9 seashells, 8 fossils, and 12 stickers. All right, so let's look at our seashells here. And this one stops at the number 10. So that one is not correct. This one stops at the number 9. Fossils is 8. And stickers is 12. So 9 plus 8 plus 12 equals 29. So this one is correct. You asked 3 more students which object they want to collect. 1 said fossils and 2 said seashells. How many fewer students chose fossils than seashells? Okay, so this is a problem that has more than one step in it. So we first have to figure out if one said fossils, if one more said fossils, how many would that be? So let's look at fossils. 8 students chose fossils, and if we add 1 more, that makes 9. And then 2 more said seashells. So 9 students said seashells, and if we add 2 more, that would be 11. Well, our question is, how many fewer students choose or chose fossils than seashells now. So if we added 2 to seashells, that would be 11. If we added 1 to fossils, that would be 9. So we have to figure out the difference between 11 and 9. Well, I know that 11 is 2 more than 9, so my answer is 2. Okay, now you're going to do your practice activity. You need to do this in your Big Ideas Math through Clever so that we can see that you're doing your work and that we can check for understanding. If you have any questions, please let us know.